Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Aces get 100,000 LVCVA sponsorships again despite WNBA probe. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the corruption of the WNBA, folks. That's what we are talking about. Y'all remember last year there was an investigation opened up into the Las Vegas Aces because the Chamber of Commerce, I think it was the Chamber of Commerce, the LVCVA, um, was gave every player on the roster $100,000, and then they would do certain things. Like I think there were some players just recently that went to a Janet Jackson show in Vegas and maybe, signed autographs, took pictures with Janet, that sort of thing. It's basically a way to pay these players more and circumvent the salary cap. Okay. And I'm not saying, whether it should be right or wrong, but it's pretty obvious what the Aces are doing. And the league opened an investigation a year ago. But guess what? We haven't heard anything. It was the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, specifically, not technically it's guess basically it's kind of like Chamber of Commerce, right? And so it appears as if every member of the team has signed contracts. LVCVA President Steve Hill told the Review Journal on Monday there are currently 13 players on the roster. This development, as I say, comes after the WNBA said it was opening an investigation last May, over a year ago, for something we have not heard anything about, something that should have been able to be done and completed very quickly. And yet Hill has not heard from the WNBA, and yet we're into another season regarding the status of the investigation. In April, so 11 months after it was open, the commissioner said there were still no updates in the probe. That is actually insane. I don't know the inner workings of the league, Hill said. I'm not looking to cause more of an issue, and it doesn't seem like there's an issue there. So we're just moving forward. The Aces did not respond to a request for comment. Oh, yeah. So here are the players. Here's what I was talking about, right? A bunch of them attended Janet Jackson's residency at Resorts World last week as part of the sponsorships Hill confirmed. So this is kind of wild, really, when you think about it. And to be fair, the players are doing things like this and making appearances and so forth. So it's not like they're just giving them the money and saying it is for this. What I also find really, really interesting, and I think it's down here what I want to talk about, because this goes to my point about circumventing the salary cap, right? So that's the goal of LVC, which is the official destination marketing organization of Southern Nevada, talking about tourism, but where is it? Right now, he said the negotiation was directly with players' agents without any participation from the Aces last year. Yeah, it's kind of that whole nink, wink and nod. There we go. Um, and what they had said was this was to bring, where is it? Yeah, it's just a sponsorship that helps draw attention to the pay levels of players. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. Uh, think about that for a second. Now, does that make it any more obvious that this is about circumventing the salary cap? So every player in Vegas, when you're looking at where do I want to go as a free agent? Well, the Aces are going to give via, of course, the LVCVA. The Aces are going to give every player an extra $100,000. Every player. So you come in on the rookie contract, you come in on the vet minimum. Say maybe you're only making 90,000 or whatever. Well, that's now 190. Say you're making, the vet max, the super max, or whatever, 249. Now it's 349. This is You have to decide. Here's what the league has to do, because this looks really bad. This is corruption. And I say that because it's clearly obvious, especially when they say it's to bring attention to the pay. So obviously, it's to circumvent the salary cap and allow the players to make more money. So if the WNBA is going to do nothing, I mean, this looks like corruption. right? Because it's just the aces. Well, that's not probably not true, but my point being, if you are going to allow this, first of all, come out and say it, because again, this is not a good look. But here is the other thing for those of you doing it, and this is why if they're not going to do anything, they're doing it again this year, right? The investigation is a year old from last year and they haven't come out, and now the Aces are doing it again this year. Okay, great. You know what that will do to the Indiana Fever? Because they can look at this, because if the WNBA was to open an investigation, say, well, okay, let's look at the Las Vegas Aces. Yeah, that's not right. That's not going to go well. No team right now, when you look at, we've talked about the economic impact of Caitlin Clark in Indy, right? Are you going to tell me that they can't work it out with organizations in Indy to where the Indiana Fever will be able to offer players far more than any other team in the WNBA? They, instead of 100, it's 200 or 250. You're a free agent and you might be signing the vet minimum, or maybe you're even signing a six-figure deal of 100K. That 100K could be 300, 350, 400K if you're playing in Indy. So this is just so this is why the WNBA has to decide what they're going to do with this. Is this going to be, are they going to take action? If they don't, if they're silent on it as they have been, this looks really bad for the league. Again, unprofessionalism. This is corruption for the WNBA to allow this for the Aces without punishment and not anything else. Now I know some people may say, well, it's not part of the salary. This is it's like endorsements. I kind of understand that. That's why I'm saying, well, but if you're going to allow this, you have to make it very clear, because as we know, really endorsements are for the most part individual, right? And you have it with companies and so forth. Not okay, we are part of Las Vegas, right? This isn't the Aces, but you know what I'm saying. It's part of Las Vegas, and we're going to give every player $100,000 for the year. And we're doing it to bring attention to how low salaries are. Come on. I think we can all read between the lines on this one. And again, I'm not saying that it should not be allowed. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying the WNBA again is incredibly unprofessional. They have to decide what they're going to do. To open an investigation over a year ago and then never talk about it again, and then the Aces are doing the same thing they did last year, and there's no statement from the league, that looks terrible. That is a really bad look. That is, once again, the WNBA being incredibly unprofessional. And by the way, Indiana Fever, I hope you're paying attention, and all teams, right? I'm sure the Liberty have some money too. You need to look at this and decide, are you going to compete? Because I don't think anybody can do this, that what the Aces are doing, anybody right now can do this better than the Indiana Fever. So anyway, we'll see what, if anything, happens. I would think the WNBA, I mean, the Aces are really forcing their hand here. Like, oh, we did it last year. You investigated us, but you never said anything. So, hey, we're going to do it again this year. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Do you think the Aces should be punished? Do you think the league needs to make a decision either way, at least, and say this is wrong? Or, hey, you know what? Fair game. Other teams can do it as well, or cities, I guess maybe we put it that way. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you so much for checking out the video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.